Hello again. Welcome back to another video. Today, I was planning on making a video about the heavy nerfs because my last video was about nerfs for the heavy, and then the day after I dropped it, it literally got nerfed. But I found out that like with all that, there was no need to make it because it plays the same basically. Like, people are still getting one shot by C4s. It still does 400 plus damage. There's no way to stop it. Even a heavy is getting one shot. RPG nerfs lights are still getting one shot. Still 150 direct hit. The shotgun nerfs, they weren't really all that important. So I've decided to switch over to a competitive topic that has been rising more recently, and that's a controller. Aim assist, more importantly, and how impactful is it in the game? Well, I decided to give it a shot and try it out and for at least a day, 2 days, around 10 hours. And I think I should share my initial thoughts on it. Overall, I don't think controllers should be removed from competitive play. I'm just gonna get that out the way before we go into anything else. But there is some very glaring issues. Number one, I think controllers are always going to be better than mouse and keyboard for tracking games and games that require long time to kill and consistent damage. I think flicking games like Valorant, CSGO, Siege, mouse and keyboard will always be better. But I think once you get to a game like Apex or you get to the finals, you have to constantly hit that person, and even mediums they're a pretty long time to kill depending on the range and what gun you're using. So controller just makes that easier, and it's gonna have the aim assist to continuously shoot them, which is a mouse and keyboard's gonna have to do the recoil pattern, while a controller player is just holding down left trigger and then beaming them. Like, yeah, there's some glaring issues, but then you have range. You can always play range against a controller player. If you really wanted to get ahead of them that badly, you could definitely just go medium, play ranged, play FCAR, and they're not going to do anything because you're so far, they can't control the recoil like that from far range, and aim assist won't be helping them. But it's like, they really, really shine with close range engagements. It's not just shotguns that help with tracking. It's for me, I found out it was the Lewis gun on the heavy, because in the M60, because the recoil patterns were just completely nullified, and those guns already do quite a bit of damage. So when you have no recoil on them, you're just allowed to absolutely destroy people, even from a fairly decent range, I would say. And I was getting lucky with some kills, I think, for sure. But up close, it was just a teardown, I would honestly say. These are just my experiences with controllers so far. Like, going against it, if I'm getting beamed, I'm not gonna fucking realize who it's from. Like, I get beamed, that's it. So I think the only reason people are like saying controller is like bannable is because they see like rank 1 players with controller doing well, but you put them in any other game, they're also gonna do well with a controller because they're just that good. Like, there's still some talent required to use a controller like that. I think people hating on people for having talent is just stupid. I obviously did decently well with controller on my first day, but I also have played controller all of my life. So, I mean, I started playing in COD BO1 and I didn't stop playing until BO3. I still played it off and on to this day with a controller. So I still have like some mechanics. You put someone in there who has never touched a controller a day in their life, They are not fragging like a rank 1 player, or even like me, who is right now fucking hard stud gold. For changes about the controller, I don't really know what you could do. Maybe nerf the aim assist a little bit so it's a little more skill dependent, or make, I don't know, just something with the recoil patterns, because the recoil patterns on controller are completely nullified. Like, I'm not doing it for any of them from medium to close range, and I mean, half the time I'm just hip firing with a Lewis gun and I'm getting like, 80% accuracy on my shots. I don't think there really is a way to nerf the controller to a point where they are not allowed into a competitive scene, or they're like impossible to use and they're just at the biggest disadvantage, because we saw that in the beta. The aim assist was toned way down, and a lot of controller players, I would figure, were not having the best time. So now they can actually compete and they're hitting diamond and they're enjoying the game. Is having a good controller player base is good, because the game's on consoles, so you can't just be like, oh, we only want this game to be M&K and we don't want controller players to be in the competitive scene, because that means you're ruling out roughly 2/3, depending on how many come from Xbox and PlayStation. All of those people are like, well, now we can't compete. And then you have any people who play controller games on PC, and all of those people. And I think the people who are pushing that agenda for mouse and keyboard only in the competitive and pro scenes, I think they are a little blinded, a little jaded, because the controller in comparison isn't that bad. Sure, it has some crazy aim assist, but it's not making everyone switch to controller. People are still using M&K, and people will always use M&K because it's superior in movement, in aim control, from far range, from close range, your target switching. You're just gonna have a straight up advantage on mouse and keyboard, and it's quite literally your fault for not having a good enough aim ability. So I think the people who hate on controllers for that reason, I think they need to like tone it down, because even if you're on controller, you're not hitting that competitive range like anyone else. So honestly, that's about it. That's my thoughts. I wanted to get a video about on it because I've been using it for a couple days, and I think people, like, I play a majority mouse and keyboard, but I think people should know that like controller isn't as bad as people say, and that people who earned the rank 1 controller spot, they worked hard for it, and they should be proud of themselves for doing that shit. And especially if they're even in diamond, because skill-based matchmaking right now, like, you're playing hard ass matches even on a controller. It's not face roll, it's not the win button. If you enjoyed the video, or you have your own 2 cents that you want to give to me in the comments, or an argument you want to start, or anything, go ahead, comment it. I'll respond as fast as possible. And if you want to see more videos or discussions like this, leave a like, subscribe. It gives me motivation to keep coming back. And without further ado, I'll catch y'all later.